I want to talk about uh, veganism or vegetarianism or consumption of meat, uh, and also talk about many diseases that come from consumption of meat. The latest that we are all having to deal with is the problem uh, with some nations, some races. They eat wild animals, bats, monkeys. Well, the Africans, they do this a lot. They corner the wild animals and then they slaughter them, and then they sell the dead carcasses in the market, open market, and then it's these animals. They are reservoirs of viruses. They are not fit for consumption. Well, there was another one case with hantavirus, that this virus or wasting disease that comes from it was something that only existed in wild gazelles or animals in the desert, and the people started eating them, wild deer. Then they saw cases um, for wasting disease, which is very serious. And then also there was another disease that was because the cows were fed the meat byproducts that came from cows themselves. So then there was another resurgence of these disease viruses. This is a huge field of study, and but just if we stop eating these animals, the wild animals, and just stick with the meat that we can control their growth or use, like chicken or cows, then we are at least separating ourselves from virus reservoirs, and we hopefully we won't have more resurgence of new viruses. But also, what has been happening in many countries is that the people are eating animals that themselves are not very well fed, and the animal meat doesn't have all the nutrients. Usually, when animals or plants that grow in the wild, they have a lot of genes or components or nutrients that are wild, and they can replenish many proteins or many vitamins or minerals that the body doesn't produce on its own. But when population becomes fixated on a certain feed or a certain kind of meat or certain kind of carbohydrate, then they are really hungry for these minerals or these vitamins or these nutrients, and then they have to replenish it with synthetic, or you have to go get it as a supplement. But then the other thing to do is just supplement the diet with a lot of herbs and plant products. Well, I used to buy a lot of supplements. I still buy some, but I managed to or I want to replace a lot of them with herbs. Actually, if you were in my room, you looked at, I have like 4 or 5 containers, boxes, and in each one of these there is many different herbs. But there is one container that a middle-aged guy like me would really have this one, and this is about 20 herbs, and they are all invigorate sexual functions. There is like Tangadali, maca, black maca. What else? I have pine pollen. There's too many of them, but I also have yohimbi bark powder, and when I mix them up with in a smoothie, then I just use a pinch of each every day or every other day, and then my entire system is in a state that I was when I was in 25 or 30 years old. So that's really valuable, but I don't think I could get these effects from nutrition, or no matter what kind of meat I ate. It wouldn't do it. Then I have another container, a box that have all the herbs that are antioxidants, antibacterial. They're all for internal organs, what you can think of, and those help me with the way my internal system works. There is some that help the heart. But actually, I am supposed to go and get some more hawthorn berries in a powder form. Uh, but there are other ones that each one of them help. For example, I have thyme that helps my kidneys. I think that's for kidneys. And the third, I have some herbs too that they help with longevity. But actually, there are very few herbs that do something like that. Astragalus supposed to help maintain telomeres, help cells last longer, and then there is another box. This box has like about 50 herbs and also supplements, which are like chemicals or manufactured chemicals or supplements, and they all enhance brain functions, memory, intelligence, and I use like a smoothie and I drink that. I usually try to use herbs that are natural, like turmeric, but I also notice I have a lot of supplements or nootropics, which I just added it to the old box. That one is really, the box is really full. I can look at it right now, and these have a real nice effect. Well, I don't know if you saw the movie Limitless, and I think that my smoothie that's from this box is actually the Limitless pill. It actually does all that stuff. Well, I kind of notice it because before I take this smoothie, there's all these projects that are like half finished, or I'm thinking I'm gonna do this and that to finish it up. Well, after I take this smoothie, oh my God, it's like within an hour or within a day, all this difficult stuff is all done. Well, I already filed taxes. I was behind 2017 and 2018, and I, finished. Well, last semester I finished 6 books on contract law, which is the 6 law books. I don't know if I have hit the plateau like that guy with the limitless pill. I don't know, but I'm very happy about it. I think is a great resource. And well, my IQ is 153 before I started with these pills, but I don't know what it is now. Uh, but I seem to solve every personal problem. Like it's nothing. Well, actually, I tell you a story. I have a Crown Victoria, and it had problem with the windshield wiper, and I replaced the motor and the multi switch, or the thing that turns the headlights on and off, and also had problems uh, with the with the door on the right side. It's a power door. Anyhow, I just didn't know what to do. My mechanic was telling me, hey, we don't know what what's the problem. The other mechanic said, well, let me take this to the electrical shop and we'll work on the relays. Anyhow, I didn't want to give the car to him because the electrical shops, they cost a lot of money and they don't always fix the problem. Anyhow, I just went on the YouTube and looked at all these videos about Crown Victorias and the problems they had. Within like I don't know, within like 2 hours, I had figured out the components that the relays, how they look like, what they do, how things go wrong with this kind of problem with this kind of car. And then I got on the eBay. I got them really cheap. I'm gonna pay it on Friday, and I don't know, next week you're gonna put on the relays, and that's a difficult electrical problem. If you had this problem, you probably have to take it to the shop and spend a couple of hundred. Yeah, but I'm not bragging. This is true. This is I seem to like pick up new sciences and new knowledges. Like it's nothing. Last night I started studying smart contracts, and I actually noticed that the stuff that the smart contract does is kind of the same logic or ideas that I had in my one of my videos called migrating information systems. Is because I didn't know this technology existed, but the what the business does, the information processing and step by step things a business does is similar to what a smart contract does, and a lot of businesses can be transformed into a smart contract. Well, I was kind of knocking my head around in the video. I knew this stuff kind of has to happen or will happen, but then when you come and see it, but it was just amazing. Like after I have been taking these shakes, I just pick up new knowledge, new things like a day or two. Uh, Stuff that you would have to spend like years studying. Is nothing to me. But I think that you should try these yourself before kind of agreeing with me. Well, there is another smaller box. Well, actually, I'm getting into one other area, two other areas. One is that I I'm getting into herbs that help with muscles and with because I have a knee. I had surgery on the and my I'm diabetic. The sugar molecules get into my sciatic nerve, and my back used to ache all the time. Well, then I did research and I found out that there is a supplement they used to give to horses. It's called MSM, and then there is another one. Glucosamine. I buy them in powder, and I have actually a section with vitamin C powder, glucosamine, and there is L-glutamine, and a couple of other herbs that they all help the bones and the the muscles, or cut back on muscular pain or joint pain, or help with arthritis. I have everything, but I take care of those things. These supplements, they help me, and also because I do a lot of research, I buy my supplements or herbs in bulk, in powder form, and I use them like in a shake or in a soda. Like I put glucosamine and the MSM in a diet coke I drink, or sometimes I buy them as liquid extracts. I have a whole bunch of herbs in liquid extract form. I kind of have given up on those because they are much more expensive, and they don't contain all the ingredients, because usually they use alcohol to extract the ingredient from the herb. Or what if I have the herb as a powder form, then I just get the whole thing. I get the benefit of the all the ingredients, not just a portion that came into the extract. I don't know. Well, the another section that I'm becoming interested in is herbs that give energy. I found one. I had the pills. I was at work. I work security guard, usually graveyard or swing. I was getting really tired. I took this herb. They call it sake na. SAKA. Sake AE NAA. Now, this is a foreign name. Well, I took two of them. I was just completely alert, very nice form of alert. But the herbs that give energy, like CoQ10, supplements that those are very valuable, and I'm getting into this area so I can do my work. But it seems that there is a lot of herbs like velvet bean that help people who have Android addiction. Like how you get on the Android and you're playing with it, and you're going from one task to another one. You play a little Pac-Man and you finish that task. But every time you finish a task, your brain it emits out of the limited resource that it has special chemicals like endorphins that make you a little happy. Oh my God, I was playing the Pac-Man, and I come to this level, and I get eaten up every single time. But this time I did it, I went through that level too. But what's happening actually is that you are becoming addicted to endorphins that your body naturally produces, and then when you finish with the Android and the Pac-Man, and then you want to go to work, like and this has happened, or you're taking the bus, and in the bus, I see a lot of people are also passing out or drowsy. I have become like that too. Is that your brain has gotten used to all these endorphins they're coming in, and then when you go on the bus and there is no more stimulations, that's all it is. There's just a bunch of other people, and a lot of them, they don't have a car. They're like low income people, or when you're they're not very interesting. Okay, so the brain doesn't get all this stimulation. The same with the doing tasks that are like ordinary, or going to work as a security guard is not stimulating like it is to play the Pac-Man, or to do stuff on the Android. Then you feel that your body wants to shut down. It's like it has gone to desert. There is no water. The brain sees, oh my God, what's happening? It's a form of addiction. It's real, and now I've got into all these herbs that help me bring this person back to life. I have to do work, and in fact, it's very important to me to do a good job at work. And I go around. I'm like a foot patrol and do sensors. There are many, and I have to do it every hour. So this is important, and but this is the first time I noticed this kind of addiction, and it's I don't know, it's difficult. Our brains are now rewiring to live in this kind of environment. I kind of noticed this because I used to, I used to go to college. We had to read books, and it's a much slower process than what I'm going through now. Well, with reading the books, uh, I also, my reading speed is not very good, and after I lost one of my eyes, it's even worse. I have to wear special glasses. So I read what, about 30, 40 words per minute, and this is a completely different way of learning, and it's much slower than what's happening now. So when egghead like me start reading like that, I, it's like my mind is racing to try to go all over the book, but then my apparatus, my reading speed, it just cannot deal with that. I used to read like books, like 2, 3 chapters, and then can't go on because it takes so long. And then after I lost my eye, then I started looking at other technologies, and I found these programs. One of them is called Text Aloud, that you can upload, or you can bring in entire book, and you can instruct this program to break the converted files. It converts the written text into audio, like a lady reads it to you. So I tell this program, hey, don't make the files more than 15, 30 minutes long. So it does that, and it breaks them down, and then I get a whole collection of files, the audio files, and I listen to them on my Android, or on my cell phone. But before this happened, my reading speed was very slow. But then after this happened, it was like, my God, this is like a revolution. It was like entire knowledges or arts. They just opened up to me. Like I go through books like there's nothing to it. But it was as if my mind or my brain was starving for many years, like because I'm very smart. I was just going and even inventing some of the knowledge, I kind of building it up in my head, but I didn't have to do it, but then when my brain caught up with my reading speed, it was just phenomenal. I think that was when a lot of things changed. But there are technologies like that that are all around us. I was looking at some book that was this mathematician was teaching kids how to do math in their own head. Like they call it mental math, and you can actually do very accurate calculations in your head. I'm gonna within in a little while get into doing some of these things, but another another jet engine that will come in. I have been doing some of that. Is using packages like MATLAB to do math, very advanced math. I keep wanna go back into this, but then I get into the same problem because the math books are very dense, and I again have to read them. You cannot just listen to them, and this is a blockage too. But then I'm buying either a projector for my Android, or I'm going to buy a smart TV and then look at all the math lectures, from MIT or other places, on a big screen, as if I'm in the classroom itself. But well, this is a very interesting area, nootropics, and I think that I am making more money, and I've become so much more enriched in many different ways that it's even difficult to kind of put your hand on, uh, because of these nootropics and because of some of these other technologies. Uh, Tesla wants to come up with Neuralink. I don't know how much I trust that, but I might try it. I have some electrical equipment that's you kind of put on your scalp, and it sends in weak electrical signals and invigorates your different sides or places in your brain. You can put it in the front or in the back. I haven't done as much of that. I want to look for other ones that have like a cap, and then it kind of invigorates different parts of your brain. Well, these are not exactly nootropics or herbs, but they they have an effect. I think there is a real good one that it interfaces with you. Actually, they have found this technology in alien ships that the aliens, they talk to their ship by brain waves, and I think there is some of that going on. That some cell phones, they can read your mind. I don't know how, but I do suspect it. Well, I want to get into herbs that help the heart, like hawthorn berry. That's only one or two I know of this department. I have been kind of neglectful, but I usually, with the internal organs, I put these herbs in the same box with the other internal organ herbs. And what's the last one? There is one other smaller box which is on the side here, and this box has all the herbs that enhance your mood, and then they induce like dreams, vivid dreams. Well, I take St. John's wort, the powder form, and L'Oreal, L'Oreal powder, which is bay leaf powder, really, and Chicago. I think the name is hard, Zacatera or Dream Herb. Uh, that's it's very bitter. That helps you to dream really nice dreams or find things in your dream. And then I don't take any stuff that's synthetic with these box. I'm not going to become a drug addict, but I take stuff that's all natural, all herbs. What else I have over there? There is herbs that make you happy, like saffron, a little saffron, but it does have side effects. And these herbs that I wish I could grab the box and look at a bunch of them. But you're on your own to do research on these things, and you know, a lot of people like that stuff to connect to the higher realms, and these are things that have been in my life forever. I'm a medium and a psychic, so I don't see the need to indulge in them. Like I need to accomplish something. They are there, and I use them, and they have, with or without them, I have many results, and so I just it's like they complete the picture, but the picture was always there. So I don't know. I don't take stuff that's more exotic, or stuff that might be toxic. I think there is one. A lot of people are getting into I don't like mushrooms. I avoid them. I use lion's mane and chaga mushroom, but I don't use them for this purpose. I use small amounts of them with the other nootropics. That's basically with the mushrooms. So I don't know about reishi mushrooms. I don't know if I want to get into the Hassan. I have to research it out more. I did hear some negative things about it. Uh, the last area that's of interest is I got diabetes, and I like researching uh, plants or stuff induces sweetness, like guava, and what's the other one? The leaves of which are very sweet, and also synthetic sugars that are zero impact sugars. These are of interest. Uh, I look into them, and I buy them. I bought some guava syrup. I tried it. It has much less impact and much less calories than regular sugar. So I kind of like that. And I study honey and stuff like that. See if I could cut back on my calories, still have my cup of tea. Uh, yeah, but the two areas or the three areas that I've been very happy with is the nootropics. Is like they enhance your mental functions to a level that you can solve or study or learn anything very quickly. And also the one, well, I'm 60, I'm not dead, so I still like to date women and be available to them. And the herbs that help the sexual functions, they are very valuable to me, and especially the herbs that they don't have side effects like drugs. So I used to take 6 pills, and a lot of them they make you shit a lot after you're done. This is very unsavory. But with the regular herbs that I have, they have very few side effects like that at all. Well, thank you very much for being in my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, leave comment, don't be shy. Thank you.